Hi, welcome to this video introducing you to ArcGIS and how to sign up, and a brief intro to how it organizes itself. You will note that I have the online instructions on the online modules, but I've included videos for basically all of these modules as well to kind of walk you through the process as well, and give you a heads up and show you how to actually use it in case you find the online modules a little confusing. Anyways, first things first, we first need to go to k12.esri.ca, and we go to that website first, and you as an individual will first need to sign up for an account. So when you click here, you're gonna get all your information here. You're gonna give to Esri, and they'll get back to you in a day or two with your login information. And then once you get your setup, you're going to be able to sign up your students, and you do that by doing this sign up for student request. And basically what you need to do here is give them your information again, and then you give them all your student information, right? So they need like a student email address, and you give one per line. So usually I just kind of copy and paste it over from Google Sheets or something like that, and that will give the students will get an email to sign up, and sometimes you got to let them know, because it usually doesn't go to their junk, but they don't really know what it is, and sometimes they might delete it by accident, etc. So you can let them know to expect an email from Esri ArcGIS to sign up for an account. And when they do that, they're going to get sent to a link that should open up this website here. Okay, and when they go to sign up, I actually strongly recommend you ask the students, especially with the OCDSB, to use Google, because our email addresses are Google email addresses. It just makes signing up that much easier, and no issues about forgetting passwords and stuff like that. It's basically using your school email setup to sign in. So that's what I would strongly recommend, that they do that. Right, and then once we sign in, right, we're gonna see the dashboard. Now my dashboard is gonna look a little different than yours, but I'm gonna go back to here to the home page. Okay, and here we've got the home page. So basically, the couple of things I would recommend, we have some videos. This resource finder's got some great stuff. I go through a lot of this stuff with you guys in different parts of the modules, but I'm going to go through like the toolbar at the top here with you. Okay, and basically the ones that are probably going to be most useful to you is like map, because that's where we're going to create the maps, but groups, because that's a way where you can organize your students, and then content, which is where all your different maps and layers and things of that nature will be saved. Okay, but to get started, we're going to talk about groups and how to set them up. So when we go to groups, you can see I've got 4 groups created right now, but basically it's a great way to organize your students. You can do 1 group per course or 1 group per section. I tend to do 1 per section, so even if I'm teaching 2 CGC 1D courses, I'm going to create 2 different groups for those 2 courses, because I just find it a little bit easier to do that. And at the top left corner here, you're just going to click create a group, and you need to give it a title, and it could be like CGC 1D. All right, and maybe your section number, whatever. Tags, ArcGIS loves asking for tags. That's the one I usually go with. And then you got a few options here, right? Okay, who can view this group? Do you want only the group members, people in the organization or everyone, make it public. I tend to, go with this one. Once we get more comfortable, we can go with the only group members one. Even everyone is public is fine too. It just means they can view it. It doesn't necessarily mean they can join it. Okay, because that's next is who can join, right? So we can do those who request a membership and are approved by a group manager, only those invited by a group manager, or literally anyone. You can do the first option if you want students to search for the group and join. I tend to go with this one. It's just, again, you're making it a little bit easier by relying on the students less. Okay. Who can contribute content to the group? So if you want students to be able to contribute content, you can click group members, or you can only click the only group members and owners. Basically, I tend to go with, again, it depends on how comfortable you feel with your students or whatnot. Usually I'll just leave it on the default. What items in the group can this is good. So I make sure that they can only update their own things. And this question is who can see who's all in the group. Again, it doesn't really matter which one you do here. Okay, and then you're just going to click create group. And if you ever want to change anything, just go back to settings here. To be honest, usually when it comes to content to the group, I will click only the group owners. And that's because a lot of times the students, they can save their own work to their own content and share it with you. Okay, now we have a group. Now we have to add students. So we go to members, and right now we have ourselves as the owner. So how do we invite? So we can go to members if we want, and we can click invite users, and we can literally search each of our students up and add them. But as you can imagine, that gets a little overwhelming and not really necessary, not really what we want. The best thing to do is actually stay in the overview page here, and there's this button here called share, and we get a link, and I just actually take that link and share it to students either through email or post it on Google Classroom or whatever online learning environment you're using, and paste that, and then once they click on that link, they'll get added right to the group. So that's super simple and a great way of adding students to the group. And then now they're part of the group. Then the last thing I want to note to you is content. Now there's two ways to look at content. So this content here is the content that's with part of the group, that's been shared with the group. Okay. And then there's content up here, and that's your own personal content. Okay, and that's the one I'm going to show you right now. As you can see, we've got a few different things on the left-hand side here. We've got some things up at the top and in the middle here. So basically, I can look at all my content, right? So I've got 231 files personally in my content. But if you like to stay a little bit more organized, like perhaps I do, you can create folders and put specific things in specific folders. And creating folders is super straightforward, right? You just click the create new folder here. The add item is something you're not going to really use until you get to a little bit more comfortable with the program. And create is another way to create some of the things we'll be using throughout the program. It basically is another way to access some of the programs in the waffle board here that will come up later. Here we can see what type of file it is. So if it's an Excel spreadsheet, a web map, a web mapping application, a layer, etc. And here we get to see, this tells us who it's shared with. So as you can see, some of these things I've made public, so anyone with the link can basically look at it. Some things it's like the owner, meaning only I can look at it. If I go to actually, all right, I deleted my courses already. If you wanted to, if you opened up something, right? You can then share it, and you can share it with the group as well. Okay, so once you start creating things, you'll be able to share it, and this will all start to make sense once you start actually going through the process of the modules and creating content. Okay, it's kind of one of those things you got to start using it for it to start making sense. But